Hi, my name is Kimie Muroya, and I'm one of the resident artists here at BTE. Usually you'll find me on stage, but here for this production of Misery, I am working backstage, and I'm here to bring you an exclusive backstage look at Misery. Our set is pretty cool. Set designer Natalie Eslami did an incredible job, as well as Gregor Gunnelson, our scenic shot person. Annie's kitchen is a little messy here. We found a lot of fun little magnets and things that just kind of say Annie for us. Over here we have some wonderful photos of RENE posing as Paul Sheldon, which are really fun to take a look at. Over here we have the kitchen. You can see Annie's a little bit of a messy person, so we have some set dressing here that just kind of demonstrates that.
But the coolest thing about the set is that it can rotate. The play takes place entirely in Annie Wilkes' house, and we follow Paul on his journey through her house, starting first being trapped in his bedroom, and then moving into exploring the rest of the house, learning more of who Annie is. So in this clip, you can watch the first rotation of the set from Paul's room into Annie's house, filmed during the show.
So Paul's bed here has a number of fun bits and pieces. So we have some of his toys here. They usually stay down here and are hidden until he brings them out. And we also have underneath the hobbling ties. Come on out, and Aaron slips his little feet in there, and we do the scene from there.
The hobbling ties get set during the dinner scene while the set is rotated to the kitchen, and I am crawling around backstage making sure that everything is set for the next part of the show, and my backstage run crew intern is doing the same for the desk side of the set. Now watch us put it all back. So Amy exits the scene, and the rotation begins. And while we are rotating back into the bedroom, Aaron is getting into place. Amy is running across backstage so that she can do a quick costume change. You'll see her getting ready for her entrance, and I am there waiting to cue her. And into the scene she goes.
Come backstage to my domain. This is my backstage area. Here's my prompt book where all of my notes are, and I'm following along in the script, making sure I know exactly what's happening next. Here's when I do a 360 rotation of the set, and then over here I have to come back and make sure that I'm cueing Amy, and so on and so forth. This is my worst page. Everything happens here. This is a really important page here. We've got a lot of props up here. We have these are fake firearms. They are incapable of firing, but they are used during the show. We've got our wonderful props tables here.
The props you see here were sourced or created by our props master, Levi Dubach, who also custom built a number of our specialty props, as well as figuring out the consumables in the show, which includes oatmeal as a stand-in for scrambled eggs and muffins as a stand-in for meatloaf.
Here we are in the green room, which is actually beneath our stage. It's in the basement. We use real things in the show that are called consumables. So this delightful tea, I'm not showing, is what we use for the wine on stage. We have changed it from red wine to white wine for laundry purposes. And then because Amy is unable to eat gluten, we, for the meatloaf on stage, are using these delightful gluten-free chocolate muffins. They get sliced up and plated as if they are meatloaf. And I think that might be Amy and Aaron's favorite moment of the show, because they get to eat some chocolate muffins on stage. At one point during the show, Amy has to stick Aaron with a syringe. So we have this prop syringe here, which actually has no needle in it. And so because our stage is so far away from the audience, we did test one with a needle and we tested one without a needle to see if we could even see the needle, and we couldn't. So we opted to go for the safer one, which is the one without the needle, so that Amy can just get in there and push down on the plunger, and Aaron twitches and then goes to sleep. So that is a fully and completely safe use of a hypodermic needle. Also completely ineffective. So, but it's theater and we're making it work. This typewriter is a very important part of the show. It does function as a real typewriter, but it is very heavy. So obviously at the end of the show, we can't actually hit Amy in the head with a typewriter. I was also the fight choreographer for this, and I worked with the props designer who created this fake typewriter made out of balsa wood. It is much lighter, and Aaron has much more control over it when he's doing that swing. And as you can see, it's a pretty dang good replica. Our props designer, Levi, did a lot of really beautiful, intricate work on it. All the pieces are there, all the bells and whistles, all of the small details. And it's a really beautiful piece of craftsmanship. Much lighter, and won't pull Aaron's arms out when he takes a swing.
We also utilized live fire on stage, which necessitated the creation of a trick wastebasket for Paul to burn his manuscript during the climactic showdown between him and Annie Wilkes.
So a piece of flash paper goes on this side, and Aaron slides the manuscript into this side so that when the fire goes, it does not light all of the rest of the paper that's in this side. There's also this piece of seaweed here, which is what Aaron pulls out to shove into Amy's face and make it look like she's being forced to eat charred paper. One of the other moments where we have live flame is here for the grill. So as you can see, we will put the manuscript goes on here. There's flash paper that goes down on the inside in there. And when Aaron drops the match in there, the flash paper comes out. The papers are protected by the tin foil, and he very slyly pushes a button over here. It's not plugged in right now, but it starts up the smoke that comes up and around. We have a little fogger, and it makes smoke rise up from there. This is our other trick bucket. There's a portion of the show where Amy as Annie forces Aaron as Paul to drink dirty soapy water that she's just cleaned up off the floor. And so this bucket has two sections in it. One here where we make a fake dirty water in here. So we put a little bit of tea in with some water and make it just look a little brown. And then over here is where Amy pours in water. She keeps the rags in there, and that's where she cleans everything from. And then she'll dip the cup into here to make sure that Aaron's not actually drinking anything that's dirty, but it is stuff that we have preset for him. This is the blood zone. So over here, we have 3 different kinds of blood happening. These are little blood packets designed and created by our costume shop manager, Jennifer Lippert. These are for Buster, and he just holds it right there. The rubber band helps him keep it in place, and then he smacks it on his chest, and it pops out and comes through his fingers, which is pretty cool. He has a little pouch sewn into his undershirt, and so when we're doing his quick change back here, I slide this pouch right into his little shirt, and we close up his shirt around it. And so when he falls forward, his pressure pushes this up. It squirts some blood up. So when he gets rolled over, you'll see a huge amount of blood coming up onto his front.
Here! Oh my God, it's you. Paul Sheldon, you're...
And then last but not least, we have fresh scab, which is kind of a thicker, almost the consistency of Vaseline kind of blood that Amy gets to use at the very end of the show. We're running low. We're getting our next little jar in.
But fake blood wasn't the only special effects injuries we were dealing with. Before every show, actor Aaron White had to apply fake bruises to his legs to mimic the car crash injuries that Paul Sheldon has. The bruises were made with an alcohol-based paint, which wouldn't come off with simple soap and water, or even sweat. It requires a second alcohol solution in order to take off. So Aaron was able to wear and build upon his bruises each week.
So besides running backstage crew and choreographing the fights, I'm also the fight captain. And what that means is before every performance, we run something called a fight call, which is when the actors get to practice all of the fights before they do them in front of an audience. Actors will practice them at 2 different speeds, at half speed and then at show speed. So at the half speed, they're moving super slow, just making sure that everybody's going through the motions. And then at show speed, we're doing the whole fight full out with emotion, with cries, with anger, everything there.
You want it? Eat it. Eat it, you sick twisted.
We also took special care to make sure that all of the props, especially the weapons, were safe for the actors to use and would not cause real harm or physical damage to either party.
Right now we are about to do the hobbling scene, and for fans of the book, that is the foot chopping off scene, but in this version, we are smacking Aaron's ankles with a sledgehammer. And you want to look at the sledgehammer? So this is our magical sledgehammer. It's so heavy, so heavy. But Amy does a wonderful job of making it look extremely heavy. And we have this lovely wooden block here, which is also not real wood. And Amy, she measures up here.
Mm-hmm. You want me to do this side?
Yeah,
or that
go whichever side.
Okay. Let me start with our first side.
That's my ropes on.
Yeah.
Which are also fake ropes because I can slip in and out of them very easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aaron is in no danger. I could hit him with the actual sledgehammer and it won't hurt him.
Feels a little bit like a massage.
Yeah.
Finally, I just want to give a shout out to the rest of our amazing design team, Anna Sorrentino, who designed our costumes, and Hayley Garcia Parnell, who did our lighting design, and Nick McGaw, who was our sound designer. All fascinating elements that, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of behind-the-scenes footage for. That's the nature of theater. It's ephemeral. I hope you saw the show, so you got to experience their beautiful designs for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining me behind the scenes here at Misery. For our future offerings, check out bte.org.